Alright, 8th grade Bobcats, Mr. Flato here. Welcome back to another great week at the Helena Middle School. On today's Bob Lesson, I'm going to talk some registration stuff. You'll notice this Bob Lesson was really built for like last Monday, but we weren't in school last Monday, so I'm doing it now. So the information originally was set for before the high school. People came to visit, but the information is still very important, so don't let that confuse you. I'm asking you to please get those registration forms turned in. I believe the other high school parent night is tomorrow night at 6:30 in our auditorium, so let your parents and let your guardians know. And then right after that, we really need you to get the information turned in to your advisors promptly. Hope you guys have a great week. All right, 8th grade Bobcats, Mr. Flato here. Wanted to do a special Bob lesson for you guys. Coming tomorrow, we're going to have several personnel from Helena High School in the building, mostly school counselors, that are going to run you guys through the do's and the don'ts of high school registration. High school registration is an exciting time, but there is so much information that they need to disseminate to you in a short amount of time. So I'm asking tomorrow that when they come in, leave your cell phones in your locker, put them in your pockets. Let's make sure we're not on those things. You will be required to bring one writing utensil, preferably a pencil, for if you make mistakes. This is kind of where high school begins. Even though middle school is not over yet, we still have several more months of work to do in preparation for high school. But I wanted to put out a Bob lesson today kind of to get you guys thinking about things overnight. The reality of high school registration is you only have a few decisions to make. As you get older and you go from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior, you have more and more decisions to make in terms of classes and what classes you're going to take. But I wanted to get this out there and put a few of my thoughts out there for you guys. The real experts will be here tomorrow, so you can start formulating questions so that you can make informed decisions on your freshman year. Before we get going on that, let's make sure we're our best this week at HMS. Let's be Bob, let's be safe, let's be responsible, let's be respectful, let's be a learner. Credits. High school is all about credits, and specifically earning 23 credits in order to graduate. These credits need to come from a variety of different areas, which I will show you here in just a moment. Some classes are required credits. You have to take certain ones. Like English 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to take so many maths, sciences, so on and so forth. Some of the credits you get to choose what elective areas those come from, and that's very exciting. As you get older, you get into high school, you become more aware of who you are, what you're about, what you like, what you don't like, what you feel like you want to become either in college or right out of high school, so on and so forth. Each class you take earns you a half credit per semester. Some classes are semester classes. So if you took, I'm going to make this up, Art 1, which is just a semester class, you take Art 1, you pass Art 1 first semester, you get a half credit for that. You move on to Art 2 for second semester. And again, don't quote me on that. Art might be a full year. You can look in the handbooks when you get them. Then the second semester, you have an opportunity to earn another half credit. Some classes are year-long classes, so it's broken up, half credit first semester, half credit second semester. But one of the things I want you guys to know is it's 23 credits to graduate from Helena High School. All right, I talked in the last slide about how 23 credits is needed and how those need to come from a variety of different areas. You can find this on the Helena High webpage if you want to go look on your own time. You hear many of you have heard me talk about the importance of English classes and how you have to pass 4 years and get 4 credits of English. If you guys remember from the high school tour, once you get to be a senior, you can take some different types of English, so that gets really exciting. 1 year of social studies, which is world cultures. Most of you will take that as a freshman. 1 year of American government, that class comes when you are a senior. 1 year of American history, that is usually a junior class. 2 years of science. Many of you will take earth science next year. It's recommended you take earth science as a freshman, 3 years of mathematics. I'll talk about that in a moment. 1.5 years of human performance, or PE. If you guys remember from the tour, you get 4 different options there that they will talk about a little bit more at length. It's really important that you choose the right PE. If you're not a huge PE person and you're not a huge fan of PE, it's really important, because that one is one that'll get students tripped up if they don't like PE. You got to find a way to pass that 1.5 years. 1/2 year of health. That's the opposite part of PE. Most students get that done in their freshman and sophomore years. And then you have 1 year of fine arts that you have to take, and that can be more in the typical art classroom, Art 1-2, ceramics, drama, any sort of music, band, choir, orchestra, photography. So there's lots of different fine art options there. And then another year of career and technical education. I know many of you were really interested in industrial tech out at the workshops out there, the auto mechanics, which you can't take until you're a sophomore, carpentry, welding, some of those classes. So you have to take 1 year of that. And then finally, you'll see at the bottom you have 7 credits that need to come from different electives. And that's where it gets really exciting, is you get to pick whatever you really like. Maybe you really get into welding and you love welding and you want to take welding 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, 3 of those credits can come from your extra 3 years of welding that you take. Maybe some of you are really into drama and tech theater, photography, more of the arts. You can take more classes there. Maybe some of you are really in that math and science mold, thinking you want to do like a health, maybe post-secondary, learning more about that in college. You can take some advanced math and science classes. So it really comes. One of the things about being a freshman is, for the most part, you don't have as many choices, as I mentioned earlier, than when you get to be a senior. If you look on the left, these are classes that they're going to advise you to take as a freshman. You're going to take an English. There'll be different AP and honors options with a lot of these that you can take. World Cultures, which is the freshman social studies, math that I'll talk about on the next slide, earth science, and then that PE. So really, when you start looking at your freshman year, you really only get a couple different options in terms of electives, along with the different types of English, math, world cultures, earth science, and PEs that you can take. As you pass those classes and you move from your freshman year to your sophomore year to junior, you can see that here at the bottom, there are many more elective opportunities, and that's where you're going to get your electives in. Granted that you're able to take care of business and pass these classes as you go. Let's pretend that you passed the first semester of English but not the second semester. Well, as a freshman, you got to take English 2, and then you're going to be taking another semester of English 1 all over again. Many students learn that the hard way, that a lot of these classes are required, and if you do not pass them, then you have to take them again. Couple last things before I let you go. Couple very important things. Make sure we are filling this out correctly. Okay. Make sure that we are marking length of the day correctly. Make sure we're marking one of each of these. On this math one right here, make sure Miss Cook or Miss Sebastian signs off on that. We need that initialed in order for you to sign up for math. Make sure when we get to the PE that we rank them 1 through 4. Don't just check 1. We got to have those ranked through 4. Make sure we have 5 total electives chosen. If you choose something in this section, sorry, I'll put that so you can see, in this section right there, okay, you just need to put a number in there. If you choose one of the semester-only options, make sure that you match that number. For instance, if you have study hall and debate, which are your first 2 choices, make sure those are both 1s. Those numbers need to be the same. I'm really asking that you guys and gals fill that out appropriately, so myself, Ms. Glucker, Ms. Campbell don't have to come running you down, chasing after you to get something filled out correctly. It wastes a lot of our time. Thank you, crew. Have a great week. All right, let's move on to this week's Jellybean Question of the Week winners. Morgan Barnett, Brooke Thorpe, Gavin Payne, Haven Rowe Holland, Melina Warden, and Alina Maganito. The answer to last week's Bob Question of the Week was your age, of course. This week's Jellybean Question of the Week: you answer me, although I never ask you questions. What am I? If you think you know, submit your answer to the Bob box. Get that done no later than Friday. Tune in next week to see if you're a winner. All right, Bobcats, let's go make it a great week at the Helena Middle School.